All right, WMAR 2 News' Brian Kuebler. He's been out there. He was there for the news conference. We want to go to him right now. Brian, what's the latest from where you are?
After that moment is still unclear.
Ashley, I mean, you heard it yourself. It was a very quick news conference. There are so many questions we still have yet to get the answers to. And Harford County Sheriffs, for their part of this, is they will have briefings throughout the day. But as you heard, multiple fatalities, multiple injuries. Now, we don't know how many people are dead in this mass shooting. We don't know how many people are injured. We do know that at least one person went to Christiana Hospital up in Delaware, which is a Trauma 1 center, but we don't know if that's the suspect that is in custody. They did also confirm that the suspect is in custody and is in critical condition, him or herself. Another question we don't know is, was it a male or a female? We have not been able to confirm that. They would not take absolutely any questions in this case. This is still obviously ongoing, and they keep using the word fluid. We still don't have a lot of answers, but there is no more threat to the public up here in Aberdeen. That person who did commit this crime is in custody and, well, in a hospital and in critical condition. Now, you guys were talking about this distribution center, this Rite Aid distribution center. It fills 2,500 stores throughout the Mid-Atlantic. 1,000 people work there. This is a campus, as they refer to it. They are aware of what happened here, and they are working with their authorities. This is a very large facility. At 9 o'clock in the morning, 9:06, when these shots rang out and when these dispatch calls started coming into the police department, you could just imagine at 9 o'clock on a Thursday morning, on a campus-style employer, how many people were in harm's way at this point. But again, it's very important to reiterate here, we don't have any numbers whatsoever. We don't know how many people have been killed, and we don't know how many people have been injured. Guys?
So many news conferences before. And I think one thing that stood out about this one was they came out and they said, there's a lot of rumors floating out there. There's going to be no questions. And then they get to the part that people want to know how many killed, how many wounded, won't say. Is that typical in a situation like this because it's still so fresh, so new? Or were you surprised as well?
Early on in investigations like this, as they say, they're fluid. Police departments don't usually give up that much information in the beginning as things are still kind of moving around in this investigation. They themselves said this is still a very active investigation and asked us to be patient. But not knowing specific numbers is a matter of them kind of getting into this facility and kind of figuring out exactly what happened. But the one thing they did want to make sure that we all knew was that the person who did this, he or she, is in critical condition themselves. They also didn't tell us if this person was shot with her own gun, or did a police officer able to shoot her or him, or did they escape? Did they get into a neighborhood? We have no idea about any of this, or whether this was contained within this campus-style industrial park facility for Rite Aid. Again, they say that they will keep us updated throughout the day, so we're waiting for whenever another press conference will be for these details. But listen, guys, as you know, it was less than a year ago, not that long ago, that this happened up here in Harford County again at the Granite Solutions business with Roddy Prince and how that unfolded. And that specific incident, Mr. Prince was able to escape and run up to Delaware and commit yet another shooting, allegedly, according to police. And so they're slightly different, but they are still mass shootings here in Harford County. In less than a year, I believe, if I remember
you are
correctly.
Correct.
But so this situation here is still so new. It just only happened at 9 a.m. It's just past noon. So there's a lot to figure out and a lot to investigate and a lot to get through before they can come out. I suspect, though, Ashley, that we'll get an update here within short order of some of the numbers of how many people were affected, whether critically injured or killed in this very unfortunate incident up here in Aberdeen.
Brian, once again, you're at the spot where that news conference was held. Are you able to say, without saying too specifically, but I don't believe that is right next to where the actual Rite Aid distribution center is. It's quite some distance from the actual scene where the shooting happened. Is that correct?
Yes, and as you know, Christian, from covering these in the past, these staging areas are usually set up well out of the perimeter of which these officers need to start their investigation. So I didn't even get a chance to look at the facility. So but I know that we're pretty far up. We're a little further away from where this happened. I believe WMAR 2 News' Jeff Hager is a little bit closer from where he's been doing his live shots. Our photographer, Lamont Millions, and I came up here and kind of drove around the neighborhoods around here, and a lot of roads are blocked off. But this specific staging area for the media is quite a distance away from where this all happened.
Yeah, and so it leaves them some space to do their work. Brian, I know that with a facility of that size, even a minor investigation would be difficult, but with this is a major crime that they're going to be dealing with. It's going to take them some time to get into that building and figure out in detail everything that happened in there.
That's what I think that they're asking us for patience for, because you have to understand this facility, and again, I didn't lay eyes on it myself, but looking at it through Google Maps and whatnot, but if you look at what Rite Aid tells us about that facility, I mean, it stocks shelves in 2,500 different Rite Aids, and so you have to understand that there's going to be a lot of tractor trailers through there. There's a warehouse feel to it. This is where they get the goods in, they distribute them to the stores, and if you're talking about that many stores, that many employees, and they themselves refer to this as a campus, this is not a quarantined small area like, say, in the previous shooting that we were up here covering less than a year ago at the Granite Solutions business. This is a completely different kind of investigation.
All right, Brian Kuebler reporting live in Aberdeen in Harford County. Brian, thank you so much.